What's up, guys? Tom Harold here with TomTom TV, back again with another episode of the Tomcast. Today with me is Leela Dawson, the founder and lead singer of the band Del Florida, a Washington, D.C.-based band that channels elements of neo-soul, progressive rock, dream pop, and 80s new wave with influences like the Beach Boys, Amy Winehouse, and Wolfpack. The Washington Post describes her music as rich and soulful with vocals that shine over productions that are at times funky, effervescent, or gentle. Today we'll be talking about her debut album released in August of last year, Mr. Above, available now for download anywhere you like to stream your music. Links down in the description below. Leela, how's it going?
It's going pretty good. How about you?
Good. Can't complain. Thank you so much for being on. I appreciate it.
Yeah, of course. Thank you for having me.
Sure. So I wanted to start off by saying I love this record. I think it's awesome. I've been listening to it quite a bit recently.
Thank you.
And I think it's great. I just think, and I'd love to hear all about it and how you made it and everything like that. So, but we'll start off with kind of the deeper questions because I like to make things awkward. I think it's probably better to talk about stuff that's hard to talk about.
Of course.
So what was it like being on the set of National Treasure 2?
Oh my God. Oh my gosh.
That's why we're actually here.
Oh my gosh.
What are we talking about here?
Honestly, being on the set of National Treasure 2 was really, really cool. I had a manager at the time, so I had done a couple, I did a Comcast commercial and a couple other things. But that was the most exciting thing because I actually knew what National Treasure was. But it was, super, super legit. We had to get there at 6 a.m. and had to go into a costume trailer. And this lady dressed us super quickly. And then because I was so young, they put us, all the kids together in this weird little basement building that I remember kind of looked like a weird church or something. But we had to do schoolwork most of the time. And then whenever we were called on set, we would go back and forth. But it was right in front of the White House, I think, or the Capitol. I think it was the White House. But it was freezing. And I remember Diane, what's her name?
I can't remember.
The pretty blonde lady, Diane, what's her face? She had stood.
I know what you're talking.
She stood next to me for a minute while she was drinking her coffee off set. And I was like, cool. And then my mom was on set with me too. And her favorite actor was, I'm so bad with names, the Nicolas Cage's dad in the film. And she saw him and she said hi and he said hi to her. And she was like, oh my God, that was so sweet. But it was really nice. I mean, they had a whole food table and snacks and drinks, whatever we wanted. It was really fun. It was a really cool day and a really fun experience.
Awesome. So you did a lot of things like that? You did commercials and stuff like that?
Yeah, I did some TV work and then I did a lot of musical theater. I did musical theater first, actually. I started that when I was 7 and then just started doing musicals all the time. And then at one point, my parents were like, do you want to get into acting? So they hired a manager for me, which is how I landed those gigs, which was cool.
Awesome. So music theater, what was your favorite show and favorite role doing music theater? Okay, probably the last one I did, which was a while ago. It was my first year of university in Liverpool. I did All Shook Up, which is a musical of Elvis songs, and it's it's so great. I did it in high school, and I was just a chorus member in high school. But I got cast this time as Lorraine, which is the love interest of some army guy. And that it was just so wonderful to play her. It was a very me, hopeless romantic kind of character. But that was really fun, especially because my best friend Rachel did it. And all these kids now that I'm still friends with that live all over the world, we all did it together. So it's kind of cool that we have, that memory. But that was definitely my favorite, especially because the talent was just insane. It was really cool. That's cool. I played drums for a production of All Shook Up. And I know there was one part
There's one part where there's like a drum solo sort of thing where you're like accompanying the actor. I think I'm thinking of the right show. But the little booth that I was in, there's a wall unit air conditioner that was poking out, and like I'm doing a thing, and then he does a thing, and I hit the cymbal, and I threw my head back and smashed it into the. Yeah.
Oh gosh.
I was the only one apparently that didn't find it funny. Apparently everybody else thought it was hilarious.
Everyone else did.
Yeah.
That's great.
But okay, I didn't mean to wander off into music theater
No, you're
land.
good.
I know
You're
we want
good.
to talk about this album, and I just think it's so great.
So this is with the band that I formed whenever I came back to the States in 2016. So the drummer is Aggie Lee Brown III from Severna Park, Ted Gallegos, and Michael Preston, who are both from like Loudoun County. And then, let's see, James Guile, who's from Liverpool, but he has his own band in DC, Teen Mortgage, and they're super awesome. And then me.
Very cool. The drums on this album are insane. He is nuts.
Also,
nuts.
Yeah, this was like, I think the first time that he was ever in a studio. But that was cool.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Jeez, he's like, oh man, I just feel this like church vibe. He's got this like the church chops.
Yeah, absolutely. He's
incredible.
He's super talented. Also, I forgot to say that the backing vocalists who are singing with me are Jenny Judd, who's one of my best friends from home. She's in New York City now, pursuing Broadway. And then my friend Rachel Bailey, who's also pursuing Broadway. She's like constantly on like national tours and stuff. And then on percussion for like 4 of the songs, we had Stephen Carlos Padden from The Reign of Kendo play with us, and that was super, super cool. So he sent over recordings from Buffalo, so I was really happy to have him on there because Kendo's like one of my favorite bands ever.
How long did it take, like the whole project, start to finish?
Okay, well, there was a lot of time where we didn't work on it. So we started in September of 2017 and then released it in like August of 2019. But we recorded all the bass, drums, and keys in 2 days. And then we did guitar later, and then like staggered out vocals. And then we had like a 6-month period where we were all just super busy, and it like nobody could actually work on it. So it took a really long time, but yeah. I'm happy it's
so intricate. That's why I ask. I would expect it to, because there's just so many layers and so many things going on.
Yeah.
Like you must have spent a lot of time in the studio, like tweaking things and adding cool effects and stuff. There's just some really neat stuff in there. So yeah, like the first track, you must have layered a ton of vocal stuff. Like, was that like how many voices is that? And that's only 2 of you or 3 of you doing that?
No, it's 3 of us. But what we did, my friend Nate recorded us in the studio, and I asked him if we could do it in like the style of Queen. And the way Queen would do it was they would have one microphone, and then all 4 of them would sing one note of the chord around it, and then they'd sing the next note, and then the next. So everyone's vocals are tracked, but then we also, I think, like triple tracked us singing the same thing. So there's like, for one chord, I mean, there's probably 15 vocals on just like one chord.
Oh my gosh, that's nuts.
Yeah.
The effect is pretty incredible though.
Thank you. Yeah, no. Harmonies are like my favorite thing to do ever. I could sit in the studio and like bug Nate with harmonies all day, and I'll be like, add this one, and he's like, okay. Jenny and Rachel are so good at just picking up any harmonies, so we'll just be in the booth and I'll be like, sing and they're like, cool, got it, and then we'll all sing that, and then I just know because I've done it before, like by myself, like what to tell them. So
creatively, when you're coming up with this stuff, do you have a process that you have developed for writing songs, or do you find that it's always different? Like when you're coming up with a song, do you usually record snippets if you hear something, or write things down? Like what's your usual creative process?
So I always have to write the melody, lyrics, and music like all together. I can't really do one at a time, or else I feel like I just, it's not as good as something that I could have just started kind of from scratch. I guess I really have to, I don't know, be feeling a type of way. I never write like happy songs. I only ever write like kind of like angry
I was going to ask about that.
Songs
like,
are just like really sassy songs. Yeah, right?
Yeah.
But I just find like, I don't know, I just have so much more to write about, because it's like a cathartic release for me. It helps me like process whatever I'm going through to like get it out in the song. But yeah, sometimes I'm a little too harsh, but it's okay.
I don't know. I think it makes it engaging. Like Superior. I don't want to say that I don't want to say it in this way, but like it just I feel like you really pulled Amy Winehouse into that. Like I felt like that, the way you sang that. I'm not saying that it's not your style, because you took it and made it yours. But when I heard it, that's what I thought of, and I love her. I think she was one of the most amazing singers. So
yeah, she's one of my favorites.
I like how you pulled that, and she also had that kind of snark and had that kind of guy's done me wrong. He's a immature asshole, whatever kind of vibe.
It's funny because like whenever I kind of wrote that song, the documentary Amy that came out in 2015 had just come out like over the summer, and I was so into her, and I like was listening to her nonstop. So she was like a massive inspiration for Superior, especially just because she was so sassy and just like so unforgiving in herself. And I was like, fuck it, like I'm gonna do that too.
I almost feel sorry, but it's too hard to feel. All your hostility will be harder. I'm here to heal, but I don't recognize you. Explain what's your problem? Can't say it's on my face. Don't make me out to be nasty as you are, but I extend grace. Don't you wish that you could be superior? Oh, but you will never be. Oh, baby, you're
Yeah, it's so empowering. Just there's so many people you just want to say that kind of thing to. Like we all have at least one person like that.
Yeah, it's yeah.
So I would say that's my favorite song,
Really?
except for
Okay.
except like Spring Cleaning. I think kind of rivals that. I don't know. It's so I love that happy sound. It just kind of, I don't know. The sound of the song just makes me feel good. I think they said effervescent. I like that word. It's very bubbly.
Yes, I love that. Thank you. I love spring cleaning.
I like how you threw in a couple like little interlude things.
Yeah.
Like there's a couple of tracks that are like 30 second, 40 second. I really like those. Okay,
So at the time, I was super into Hiatus Coyote's new record, Choose Your Weapon, if you can't tell. I love Napalm so much. She's a massive inspiration to me as well. But on that record, they have creations like part 1 and part 2. So I just kind of wanted something similar that was like really weird and like really like ethereal and like spacey. So my friend Nate just like, I think he just kind of put them together and maybe edited them like a little bit, but he pretty much just like did those himself, and just took, whenever we were all kind of like messing around and warming up, and then just like spliced it all together and made it sound super weird. But he's a genius, so that was all Nate, honestly.
It's so cool. Like Beachcomber, I love. Like he got this like fat snare sound, like this fat like gated snare. I love it. I almost wish that song went on.
Me too.
But I also appreciate little like interludes like that, little transitions.
Yeah.
I really like that too. So I just wanted to ask, I didn't know if that was just stuff that you gave direction for, or it was just kind of.
Well, I mean, Nate's like very good at like, I'll tell him that I like would like a certain kind of sounding thing, and he just always knows where I'm coming from. So yeah, no, he just hit the nail on the head for me. And also like, I like them because they're kind of like palate cleansers. So you can kind of like absorb the song and be like, okay, here's something to kind of like chill out for a second, and then you go into another song.
What would you say is your most memorable song or your favorite song on, like if you were to show somebody your music for the first time out of this album, which song would you want them to hear first? I guess.
Okay, that depends. Like, are we talking about a musician I'm meeting for the first time, or are we talking about like someone like that's like just?
Oh yeah, okay, that's a good point. Like a normie.
I don't want to say that, but you do like someone that doesn't play music. I don't know.
I didn't mean that.
Because I would pick two different songs,
Okay, what
I
are
would
they?
probably,
Yeah,
I would pick
both.
like We Don't Look Up or Spring Cleaning for like a musician, because personally, like We Don't Look Up is my favorite, but that's just like such a me kind of song. And I just never get tired of it. And then like commercially, I think I would choose like Faded. Because that one's just so like bouncy and fun.
It kind of covers both sides with it. Like, I really like, and We Don't Look Up. There's like you kick into this like 6/4, 5/4 sort of like hard rock situation.
Yeah,
I
it's
really
like it's 11,
really cool.
I guess. So it's 6 and then 5.
I
6 and then
break
5.
it up. It's like yeah. Mm-hmm. With everything going on, have you been able to do any like live streams or any sort of concerts for people to see you during this weird, transitional thing?
Songbird actually, one of DC's venues, hit me up and they asked me to do the Caged Bird series. I loved the title, Caged, how fitting. But I did that like 3 weeks ago, and that was so much fun. I did that with one of my girlfriends who's been like quarantining with me, and we just like sang a couple Del Florida songs, and then I did a couple solo songs, and then we did a couple covers too, and it was a good time. But we haven't really done anything with like the band because not every exactly it's hard to like coordinate.
Figure out. So where can people find you? Where can people find out when things start coming back in and you finally get back on stage? Where can people keep up to date with you?
So my personal Instagram handle is Leela Dawson, LeelaDawson, and that'll have like all Del Florida stuff, but it'll also have like some solo stuff and anything else that I kind of do. And then Del Florida's handle is at Del Florida Baby, and then we're also on Facebook, Twitter, which I don't really ever post on there much. But yeah, there's a couple like live videos on YouTube too, but Spotify, Apple Music, all the streaming platforms.
Well, I just want to thank you for being on, and I really enjoyed talking to you about the album, and I hope that you all go out and check out Mr. Above. It is available now. Links down below. Everywhere you stream your music, you can find it. So once again, thank you very much, Leela. And make sure, guys, okay, click my face. Click my face right here. If you want to subscribe, click it. If you want to see more Leela, click over here. Click the box over here. If you want to see more TomTom TV, click over here. And as always, this is Tom Harold with TomTom TV Live, signing off.
Thank you.